Flyers are coming to the game after not being in it since the revamp, for what I know. And the community has been starving a little bit for them, me included. However, we only have their models and estimated stats. I don't know if they have already planned the flight system, and people don't usually want to suggest things like that, which is fair. Thinking about systems is hard, but that's why I'm here. To complain about stupid stuff and suggest dumb ideas that might or might not help whatsoever. In this video, I will talk about the flight system, Sinopterus, Pteranodon, and Quetz. Oh boy. Let's get right into it, shall we? First of all, let's talk about the flight system. This is a hard topic to talk about, because a good flight system can make you feel that you're actually flying, make you feel the air under your wings, and you can just stay in the air for just hours. But a bad flying system just sucks. An example of a really infamous flight system is ARX. Either on PC, console, or even mobile, ARC's flight system is infamous for being bad, bare bones, and the flying creatures have extremely wonky physics. Basically, you're controlling a boat, but it can go into the y-axis. And an example of a good flight system, specifically in the Roblox engine, is, of course, Creatures of Sonoria. Everyone that has played this game can tell you that the flight system in this game is probably one of the best. You can really feel the wind under your wings, and the movement is dynamic, fluid, and smooth. It's just amazing to the point where you see places like this, and you just do this. When a game doesn't explicitly tell you that you can do this, but you can, and it just feels right, then that, in my eyes, is a dub. Being able to soar by a press of a button, which gives you constant movement and even some stun regeneration, being able to change from gliding to full flight control, and the advanced aerodynamics you can do are very satisfying. Not to mention the air currents that give you a speed boost. I feel it was more noticeable before the recode, but that's beside the point. A system like this could work both mechanically and in terms of enjoyment. Disclaimer, I am not saying that they should just copy and paste their flight. I'm saying that the way Creatures of Sonoria did it was probably the best way to do it. Sure, there are some adjustments in air control, soaring, mechanics, and aerobatics that some pterosaurs can do and others can't, as well as having a designated slowdown button for landing without breaking your bones. I believe that with a system like this, the game would be in a fantastic spot to add more flyers that can do different things, and, of course, the fabled Game Pass flyer. Also, assuming that the map is coming, there will be places for these flyers to, perch and stand out of any danger. However, more and more islands and large pillars of rocks are appearing in the current map, maybe as a failsafe if anything happens. I am a firm believer that the dev team should take all the time they need designing the dinos and the map if we don't want another gateway situation. A map that is unfinished and 1/3 of it is just barren land with nothing. Also, a little bit of a side note, I would really love to finish the year with 400 subscribers. So if you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing and hitting that little bell icon so you can know whenever I post any new videos. Anyway, with that out of the way, let's get to the pterosaurs. Sinopterus was a small-sized pterosaur from China in the late Cretaceous. There are no concrete time ranges because the information about it is very limited, and the fact that the paper describing it is in the Wayback Machine, it doesn't give me a lot of hope. But regardless, Sinopterus is rather important because it was the first tapeharid pterosaur discovered outside of Brazil. As all tapeharids had very distinctive crests very similar to hornbills, or some sail-like structures. We still don't know a lot. It had a 1.2 meter wingspan, very similar to the macaw, and it had similar weight. However, the game version will be 2.87 kilos, or at least I think it will. By the way, it is theorized that Nemicolopterus isn't its own genus, but rather a juvenile Sinopterus. So that's something. In-game, Sinopterus will be a free creature that will teach players about the flight mechanics. It's more than likely that it will be a herbivore or even an omnivore, being basically the giant from the sky. And that's what it should be, just a nice little drone for players to scout the land with complete freedom and also vibing as a sky rat. In terms of abilities, climbing and latching are almost a must. After all, the code for that will be in the pounds for Deinonychus and the climbing for both Dinon and Arbo. Sino could latch to tree trunks and climb them so that it can get fruits. However, there should also be able to latch onto other big dinos like sauropods and maybe even carnivores. I would really like to see Sino like the GN for carnies, giving a boosting well-being just like, well, the little feather rat. And because of its tiny size, it wouldn't even be worth it for baby carnivores to kill them. And also, Sino would be like a scouting drone for some packs looking for prey, just like how GNs, the moment they see a carnivore, they start spamming their aggro roar, and it's very loud, so it alerts everyone. Sino will be able to just see where a herbivore is, go back to its friend, and well, tell them, I don't know, in some way. And also, why not? Give it mimicry, just for it to be an annoying little parrot skulking around with nice arbor mobility. However, even though I say it will not be very worth for babies to eat it, it will still be a prey item for young Deinonychus and arbos that can climb and jump from trees and catch Sinops out of the air. Overall, just a little parrot that will be flying around and screeching. Pteranodon was a medium-sized pterosaur that lived in the late Cretaceous from 86 to 84.5 million years ago in what is now North America. Being one of the largest known as dark-age pterosaurs that have ever lived, with a wingspan of 7 meters, with some dubious weight estimates ranging from 20 kilos to 93 kilos, being the last more than likely wrong. And because of another detail, they were sexually dimorphic, males being significantly larger than females and having larger crests. In-game, Terra will be 25,000 amber, and it will be a fisher, more similar to seabirds like seagulls, pelicans, and albatrosses. They will be concentrated near bodies of water like rivers, lakes, and the coast, making it a semi-aquatic of sorts, being able to dive and even take off from the water, or even having the skim feeding method that is usually shown in many paleo media, and many modern dinosaurs use it, so that makes sense. However, I would like it to be the best traveler, like an albatross, being able to soar almost indefinitely. For those who don't know, albatrosses, a part of being the bird with the largest wingspan, are capable of soaring for hours or even days. After all, once a baby albatross learns how to fly, it won't touch land for a long time. and they can fly for 46 days without ever stopping. Having Pteranodon being able to do this, soaring definitely at a cost of speed and maneuverability, will make it an amazing traveling creature that can cover extensive mileage. But because of the larger wingspan, females will be faster and more agile at the cost of stamina, and males will be able to cover more distance compared to female, but they will be very slow. And also, because of their size difference, males will be likely to get bigger prey like larger gars, and small-sized juvies like baby ichthys, sucos, Dinosaurs, ceratos, etc. While females rely more on fish and scavenging. Now we get into the bane of my existence, Quetz. Quetzalcoatlus was a large-sized starkid from the Cretaceous that lived from 68 to 66 million years ago in what is now, say it with me, North America. Yeah, baby. A god of the skies, an actual feathered serpent with a wingspan of 10 meters and a surprising weight of 250 kilograms. So, a giraffe-sized bird is as heavy as a male lion, and its head alone was 2 meters long. Now that is big. It served a similar niche to today's storks, walking around the land and snatching anything it can pull down its gullet. Okay, I'll just say low flight speed, uses flight just to move around and can swallow babies alive. Or that's what the wiki says. It will be extremely squishy. If the rumors of it being almost 1600 HP are real, it will make it less tanky than a goddamn Teen Dilophosaurus. But unlike Teen Dilophosaurus, which can easily conceal itself in a bush, we're talking about an animal this big. However, it will be able to run relatively quick on land. After all, its limb proportions are very similar to giraffes, and for those who have seen videos of lions hunting giraffes, you'll know how fast those things are. And its damage should be massive. If they give baby Terence Tyraco massive damage, having even more frail weaponry, there is no excuse for not giving Quetz almost as much or even more damage than baby. Also, its health must be changed, but I will talk about it in a minute. Now, in terms of other stuff, Quetz will be able to have intimidation. I mean, that's almost confirmed. And I expect it to be as useful for it as Spino's intimidation. And almost because of the same reasons. Spino intimidation technically make you tanky, but at the same time, it doesn't. And it doesn't by making none of you, both you and your enemy, able to attack. Your enemy because he has a damage penalty, and you because your enemy is literally just outrunning you. Fun fact, if an elder Spino intimidates an adult Dinosaurus, the dog will trot almost as fast as the Spino can run. I'm pretty sure they gave that 0.5 extra speed so that Dinosaurus couldn't just laugh at the Spino. For Quetz, intimidation will make the babies you're trying to eat run away at the speed of light, and unless you're against a single parent, the damage penalty is almost nullified. Also, the swallow baby's whole thing isn't that different from a Carno or Dilo running in, clicking the head of the baby, press G and then going away. Anyway, even though there's a lot of people who want it to be able to attack in the air, I would prefer it to not. We've all seen Pass of Titans Quetz mod and how only one of those things was more than capable of soloing a whole Argentinosaurus before the nerfs. Why? Because there's almost no counterplay for it, and I don't even know if Prior Extinction can handle something like that, especially for Diplo. Diplo can defend itself from an aerial strike, Even though there are no neck or head hitboxes, it still will not stop a Quest from trying. And not getting me even started against other carnivores. Carnis are usually taller than herpes and omnis, making them easier targets. However, we have a big problem. You see, I can say whatever I want. I can keep rambling, yapping on and on and on. But unless I make Quetz breathe freaking fire, nothing will make it worth half a million amber. Its stats and abilities to make it worth that much. And there's no argument that can make me think otherwise. Some could say that it's going to be the best baby killer. It's not. We all know which dino is the best population control and will always be the best population control. Is it that expensive because he's a flyer? This argument is only for its movement. Quetz will not be a real part of the flyer ecosystem. It won't be hunting other pterosaurs. I don't even think it will be interacting with them. Even less if it is not going to attack from the air. Sure, you can stumble onto a landed Sino or Terra and kill it, but that is not any different from a Deinonychus finding a landed Sino and Terra and killing it. Flight will be exclusively for moving around. And sure, all flyers will use flying to move around. However, that is the only comfortable way Sinopterus and Pteranodon can move. Sure, they can run as well, but they will be very slow compared to all dinos in the same tier. Quetz, however, will be able to move on land as fast as other dinosaurs, using flight as a last resort for escaping Carnos and Ceratos. They are trying to balance it revolving creatures who will not be interacting a lot, like me balancing Spinon to be able to fight against Zapatos, or me saying that, yeah, Cerato and Conker shouldn't be fast in land because they are semi-aquatics because they can just swim a little bit faster than some other dinos. And I know what some of you are going to say. The old fabled price equals rarity. Do I really need to say something about this? Do I really have to make an entire video talking about why this doesn't work at all? Have any of you gone to Oka Reservoir, Upper Mire, Itcher Rock, or the Granny? I will just say it. Price does not equal rarity. Paradoxically, expensive creatures are more common to see than small or some mid-tiers. What determines rarity is the strength, design, and fun of a dino. Usually only the strength. Do you really think people play Pachyrhino, Iguanodon, Dinoceros, Teresino, or Apato unironically because they actually enjoy them? No! They play those things because they are the strongest dinos in the game. People play Alo, Torfo, Arco, and Vista because they are cool looking dinos. And people play Concave, Cerato, Carno, Dilo, and Alo once again because they are fun to play. And yeah, fun is subjective. People might actually find those apexes fun, but I've already deviated from the point. My point is, the first weeks of Rise and Fall 2.0 will be filled with Quetzes everywhere, but once they start crying about their inability to kill babies protected by their parents, unlike Carno, and start trying to nerf the dinos that can kill them easily, like Carno, people will just stop playing it, and he's assuming that it has as much health as a Tindilo. Also, I'm being a little negative, because we all know, Quetz will never, ever be rare. It's the closest the Earth has had to an actual dragon, a gigantic fly monster. That is a guarantee that people will be playing it. Just like whenever Rex gets added, people will be playing it everywhere. It doesn't matter the price. Okay, I wanted to make Quetz only 250,000 amber or even 300,000 amber at most. The cheapest apex tier, if its health is just that low. That way, you teach new players the functionality of the mastery dinos with something relatively weak for its price, but still fun and cool to look at. Quetz will be the easiest mastery to get, because as a Sino and as a Terra, you are pretty much safe. And Quetz being very squishy and being just a baby killer will make it as rare as Carno, but this time, Carno will be a bigger counter. If it cripples a Quetz, that's GG's. Even if it has massive damage, a Carno will be able to kill a Quetz even if it dies of bleed, because now the Quetz lost 2 hours of its lives and Carno just lost 1. At the end of the day, there are better options at killing babies, because let's be real, absolutely all dinos are good at killing babies, and Carno can, actually kill things bigger than it alone. Not to brag about it, but I've soloed a jungle already, so that's food for thought. So Quetz being just an introduction to mastery creatures as well as not being that dangerous to other creatures, so of course, a good Quetz will be dangerous to things like even Alos or Centaurs, but just like Carno, it should not have any resistance, but it should have a weakness to all types of fracture, especially body fractures. If you get fractured, you are grounded until you heal up, so massive pierce damage to at least defend yourself and deter small tier from just killing you with the ease of a Teen Dilophosaurus while you're just waiting for your bones to heal. I think that should work. I don't really think that green intimidation will work with Quet's design. So a good form of reverse intimidation, making other dinos slower than you, will make it a little bit better. To be honest, that's kind of what Spino needed, but that's beside the point. After all, Quetz is a stork, not an eagle. If the pterosaur was an ornithocarid like Ornithocarus itself or Tropiognathus, then that will be the real apex of the sky. Quetz is just an apex that can go to the skies. It will be more of a land-based creature, so it should be balanced around other land-based creatures. Not saying, oh, because he's a flyer, no, that's poor balancing. You're just selling people Dilophosaurus that can fly, it's squisher, and it is not a creature of the night. Overall, the addition of flyers to the game can open a lot of different playstyles and quirky stuff, like, a small pterosaur like Andrognathus being able to drink blood like vampire bats, or a medium-sized ornithocarid that can dive from high altitudes like a peregrine falcon, and not only pterosaurs, but also actual birds and paravians. There is a huge potential with flyers that can be exploited and made into fun experience. But what do you guys think? Are you excited for flyers? Do you think Quetz will be Carno fodder? Leave it in the comments below. Have a good one and
La cigüeña trigueña.